lovelies, welcome back community. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah. On this channel we talk everything mindset and manifestation. We are here to help you rise and reach your truest potential and simplify manifestation.
In this video we're going to be talking about why you could be manifesting the opposite to what you want and what that looks like. Stay tuned.
So before we jump in, we are offering a new self-concept course which is really going to help you to step into the version of you that has what they want and start to wiring a new self-concept for yourself. If you would like to jump on the waitlist for that, we do have a link for that in the description box down below, so you'll get notified as soon as that launches. If you'd like to work with myself or Tia one-on-one, the links for that are in the description box down below. So let's jump in. I'll be your light. Be your light. What is happening when we are manifesting the opposite? So oftentimes when we start to be consciously aware that we create our reality, it can seem like we're manifesting the opposite, because we know that our 3D reality is just based on old news, it's old thinking, old thoughts that are now playing out. So once you become conscious to manifesting and changing a new story and working on your self-concept, it seems like the opposite is still manifesting when it's just the old story playing out. So what do we do when we're seeing this happening and it's unfavourable basically and it's not what we want to experience? How do we start to shift that? So we start to shift that by taking our power back and realising and seeing 3D for what it is. It's old news, it's just a byproduct of our past thinking, our past belief system. And like I said, as we continue to work on our self-concept, it must shift and it must change.
Yeah, I agree, because as a conscious creator, our job is to take the 3D experiences as feedback. Like, we don't have to ignore it, in my opinion. We don't have to pretend that it's not going on. It's simply mirroring what was maybe our old dominant state of being, where our old dominant thoughts were going. So when I have the conscious awareness to be like, okay, that shit's going on in my 3D, or I've manifested this circumstance, how can I take my power back from this circumstance in that moment? And it's having a go-to, like your tools and techniques that can really stabilize you in that moment. And for me, that might be a walk in nature, that might be an EFT tapping, that might be me just having a bubble bath. But it's understanding that in that moment this circumstance is happening, it's not making me feel good, so how can I take my power back and stabilize myself and kind of get myself back into the state of knowing that this circumstance doesn't matter and I know what I want is already done.
Yeah, so after you've stabilised yourself with tools and techniques like Tia listed, or you can do affirmation rampages, or you can do your visualizations, whatever you need to do for yourself, you stabilise yourself, and then you're going to want to reinforce the new story. You're going to want to tell yourself what is the truth, who you are in relation to the thing that you're trying to manifest, and you're plugging it into your new story. No, I am getting everything I want. I am deserving and good enough and worthy to have everything I want. This situation is changing. Everything is always working out in my favour. Some way, somehow, it doesn't matter what's going on currently in the 3D. I know this is just a byproduct of old thoughts and thinking. It's catching up fast. My 3D is now catching up and conforming. I don't care if I'm seeing the opposite. And there's also the meaning we're giving to it. If we're attaching a meaning that we're seeing the opposite, nothing's working for us, why is this happening to me? We don't want to victimise ourselves. We want to step into our power and be like, no, okay, I'm not going to give it a meaning like the opposite is happening to me now. I'm going to now attach a favourable meaning like, do you know what, this is old. It's old news. I don't give a shit about it. I'm going to just keep persisting in living in the end, knowing what I want is mine because it's already done. Or it will be mine, whatever words you need to say for yourself to help yourself in that moment, and then keep going about your day. You know, and I know sometimes we're manifesting something and a complete opposite circumstance manifests. Like you're manifesting your SP and they break up with you, or a third party comes along, or you lose your job, or you know, you lose all your money, whatever it is. That's just a byproduct of your old thinking, your old thoughts. But now you get to take your power back and be like, okay, I see that for what it is. Now I'm going to persist forward, living in the end, knowing what I want will always be mine. And I'm going to keep playing my new story and perpetuating that, knowing that 3D must conform.
Yeah, and I also think leading on to that, it leads on to like our previous video of why your manifestation might not be here yet. Like, we can link that up above, but are you in your dominant state of having it? That is also a really good point of like, yes, we're doing all the tools and techniques and we explain that in that video more, but you might be doing all this, Tom, Dick and Harry, like we say, you might be doing all this in terms of like affirming for it, but have you actually dominantly changed how you are associating with that thing? Are you still believing that it's not going to happen? Are you still believing that there's a separation? And like we say, we do these things to close the gap, but we dominantly want to be in the having of rather than the not having of it. Like our inner knowing about ourselves is reinforced when we take our power back, because you're saying that thing I want, despite the 3D circumstance, despite the fact that opposite is manifesting, I know I'm still getting it. And then the more you persist, our favourite word, the more you persist in what it is you want, that must become your reality. And that is how everyone has manifested what they want. They have the desire in their mind, they persist despite the current circumstances, and that must materialise into the 3D.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when we're seeing the opposite, we're like, okay, I'm not going to get what I want now, I might as well just give up.
Yeah.
No. Remind yourself of all the things that we just said and say, no, I am getting what I want. I always get what I want. Manifesting is extremely easy for me. I don't have to give my power away to the situation. I am the creator of my reality. And we reinforce that over and over and over again, because we want you to know that you can have absolutely anything and everything you want, because you deserve it and you're good enough. You are here in this life experience to have everything that you want. You don't get these desires, as Tia always says. This is your higher self showing you what your life could be like. So don't give up on yourself. Keep persisting and knowing, like, this too shall pass. You know, and everything will shift and change and conform in your favour. You just keep persisting and living in the end of that.
So guys, we really hope you enjoyed this reminder and just like a quick explanation of why you might be manifesting the opposite. It's not to get disheartened, it's you reminding yourself of your power and knowing that what you want is yours. So as we always say, if you like this video, we'd really appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe. It helps us grow the Janae community. All the links to work with myself and Leah are in the description box below. We have the self-concept workbook launching and one-to-one coaching. So yeah, with that being said, we'll see you in the next video.